everybody, it's Torrance the Sword Guy Builds, and today we're going to be talking about overhead volleys. I'm going to be using this pair of 4-foot economy hybrids. These hybrids are great for these moves because they're so light. They're very easy to keep over your head for a long period of time. So overhead volleys are hard mainly because you need to get the whip to float. If you're doing volleys on the vertical plane, the whip isn't necessarily constantly trying to wrap itself, but that does happen when you're in the overhead plane. So you need to get used to giving it a slight upward boost every time it comes to pass your head going forward and back. But before we get too far into that, let's focus first on doing an overhead fast figure eight. So if, for example, we start with the overhead crack, really all you need to do is shoot that crack at a slight downward angle in front of you. And if you just round your hand backward like this, the whip will basically just travel over your head anyway. That being said, you do still need to move a little bit fast just to make sure it doesn't fall under its own weight and hit you regardless. Once you can do a basic overhead fast figure eight, all you need to do is repeat that pattern. For me, it's more difficult in this orientation to hit the forward cracks because as I come out of the backward crack, I need to give it a little more upward force. So these are what I call overhead overhand volleys. On the other hand, of course, we have overhead underhanded volleys, which I believe are easiest to start off from a sidearm flick. So these are interesting because you do still need to sort of shoot the front cracks down so it comes up higher to clear your head. But I find that I not only need to have my wrist at a different angle than I normally would for a sidearm flick, I actually need to turn it almost upside down like that. That's how you set up for the reverse crack coming out of that flick. For me, these are also a little bit easier to keep floating just because it's like you're holding up a tray, right? That motion just kind of comes naturally. So I think overhead volleys are fun on their own and a very interesting feeling, but they also become very necessary to practice if you start wanting to do four corners moves. If you practice these volleys first, you'll already be in the habit of getting the whip to float above your head, which is an integral part of nailing those four corners. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope this helps. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.